our public safety meeting. Today is November 23rd, 2022, and the time is now 7:37. Everybody, did everyone receive the minutes to be approved? Hello? I can't hear anything.
I don't think I got any. Frederick Watson, I don't think I got any.
It was sent out with the link and the agenda, Mr. Watson, yesterday, last evening.
Oh,
Right.
welcome, Mr. Watson.
Thank you, thank you.
You wasn't able to come last time, but I'm glad that you're here today.
I probably was busy.
I want to welcome everybody to the public safety meeting for November. I want this meeting to be not too long, very short. And we have a guest, Ms. Sanchez from the fire department, because last month was actually fire safety month. And since then, there has been a lot of fires in our neighborhood. Every minute I'm hearing the fire department. I even had a smoke problem in my building, and I'm on the fifth floor, and the person went to sleep and left the stove on the first floor. And there was a bunch of smoke on the fifth floor. So welcome, Ms. Sanchez, to try to help us with our fire conditions. Okay. Can everybody please introduce themselves and tell me, your name and if you're a member of the board or a member of the committee and the reason why you're on my public, not my, but our public safety committee.
Barrington Barrett, member.
And Mr. Barrett, you're a member, and thank you. Next, oh, is Mr. George Tate on the line?
Yes, Mr. Tate is present.
Okay, Mr. Tate, can you please do for me what I would like you to let me know when somebody's hand is up? Because I still can't tell or see or able to know. Please. Okay, go ahead. Next person on the roll call. Oh, anyone
Monica
else?
McCain Brown, Public Safety Committee member.
Welcome. And anything I could add to you for what you would like to see done on our public safety committee?
Not really, Ms. Welch. I think we've been addressing that over the years. So nothing at this
I
time.
know, but you spoke to me, but what about everybody else?
Nothing at this point. Probably during the meeting, if anything I want to add, I'll do so at that time.
Okay. Next.
Frederick Watson.
I'm sorry. Good evening. My name is Cheryl Saunders, and I'm a guest. I have a strong interest to join the committee. Well, not the committee, the board. And I was invited. So I just wanted to make sure that people know that I'm really interested in participating and joining the community board.
Oh, okay, that's done through our elected officials. You could speak to any of them. Next, Ms. Storderson, welcome. Next, Mr. Watson.
Yes, Frederick Watson, member of the safety committee.
Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you're feeling well.
Thank you.
Next,
Patricia Reddock.
I'm Ms. Rada.
Hi, Miss Stokes. How are you doing?
I'm Doing my best. Thanks for
That's what
coming. Anything
you're
else?
welcome.
What would you like to see on this Public Safety Committee?
Me?
Yes, Miss Ruddock. Last
I'm
time I
sorry.
wasn't able to get
To hear
anything.
me? No, I'm just listening. If I have anything, I will interject it at that right time. Right now,
Okay,
I'm just
Miss Ruddock, are you still on the precinct council?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Miss Ruddock. What we would like to know is what went on at the precinct council meeting, because I'm not able to go. I am actually a person that works 3 to 11 at night. So
Do you
anything
have a backup? Do you have a backup
for what?
for when you either can't make it sick or
No, I
you
don't.
know something
I
happen?
I actually
You know you
don't
should
have
have
a.
a backup, right?
Oh well, like I said,
Your
I'm new
your boss
to
didn't
this.
tell you that, Mr. Daly didn't tell you that.
No, he didn't tell me I needed a backup. I know that I'll try to make all the meetings, and I know also that I can't make most of the meetings that are in the evenings because I actually work in the evenings. But I
Mm-hmm.
make a way that I'll be able to go to the general board meetings, and if I have to go to a committee meeting for myself, I will also make it
Mm-hmm.
my business to be
Mm-hmm.
there. It's just a
Yeah, you
matter of
should.
me actually switching my tour.
Yeah, the backup is generally for if anything should happen, not necessarily sick, that you can't make it. The backup
Mhm.
will take over the meeting for you. And you
Oh,
will, if you have to tell the person what you need to discuss or anything is going to be happening, you let that person be aware of it, and the person should take. It has to be a board member, though.
okay, Miss Roddock, no problem. So I'll see about that backup.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely. Next meeting, I'll let y'all know who could be my backup and who wants to be my backup. Okay, thank you, Miss Roddock, for that.
You're welcome.
That was a plus plus for you. Next,
Thank you. Thank you.
who else is here?
Miss Welch, may I ask a question?
Sure.
Okay, you said you wanted to know what went down at the council meeting. If after the meeting is over, you text me and give me your email address, I will give it to Mark so that when he's sending out the minutes, when the minutes are being sent out, I will tell him that you request a copy of the minutes so you will know what goes on.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right.
I will definitely do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you my number now.
No,
You want
not your
that?
number, your email address. Don't give it to me
Oh,
now. Give it to me one-on-one.
oh, okay. So I don't have your phone number.
All
Sorry.
right. I will give you that one-on-one also.
Okay. Next,
All
anyone
right.
else? Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Good evening, it's George Tate,
Hi, Mr. Tate.
board
Welcome.
member.
Thank you, Mr. Tate. You sound like you have a cold.
Not tired, just.
Well, I'm glad that you made the meeting. Thank you for coming. And again, I don't know when someone's hand is up, so let me know, okay? Thank you. Next, anyone else?
Audrey Henderson, committee member.
Mm-hmm. Anything to add, Miss Audrey?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Next, anyone else? Anyone else?
Hi, Adele
Hi.
Bennett, committee member.
I'm Miss Bennett.
How you doing?
Welcome.
Thank you.
Anything to add?
Hmm. Well, in my area, we have a lot of dumping going on, and I think,
That's garbage, you mean?
yeah, no, it's like dumping like debris. You know that gas station that's on Kings Highway where Remsen is? It's closed down. And
Mm-hmm.
they closed it off. They put a gate around it. Some people, I don't know who they are, they came and knocked it down.
Mm-hmm.
And they're dumping like wood, like from construction site, like all over the place. It's nasty.
Ooh. Okay,
Yeah.
well, maybe we will reach out to the new sanitation chair,
Mm-hmm.
see if
Mm-hmm.
something could be done about it.
It's a,
It's on
it's a,
Kings Highway and what?
yeah. Like Remsen.
Remsen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll reach out.
Because it's very dark over there, so that's
Yeah.
why they do
I
it.
think we had discussed that darkness.
Mm-hmm. There's not much light. Not a whole lot of light, unfortunately. Used to be when it was open, but not anymore.
Or what about the fencing? Is the fencing made out of wood or is the fencing made out of
No, you
metal?
know the wire fencing. People knocked it down. It was like they drove up in there, and then you have those people that hang in the middle of the intersection selling stuff. They go on there and dump their garbage.
Okay. Like I said, I'll reach out to sanitation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But thanks for coming.
All
Next,
right.
anyone else? Anyone else present? No. Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Okay. I think everybody was supposed to get the minutes, the minutes for our last meeting, which was October. I just want to know if we can please have somebody let me know if you received it and if we can approve the minutes. Hello?
Do we have a quorum though?
So
Minutes. How
far,
many members we have on the committee?
well, if we have 16 people present last time,
We have
that's not
13 present today.
how many?
13, minus the presenter.
So we have on our committee how many members? I know last time I seen it says present, we had like 16. So we only need what? 8 people here just to be quorum, right?
Quorum. You heard me, you have a quorum.
We do have quorum. So I would like somebody to ask for the approval of the minutes. Anybody? You want me to put it? Hello? Did everybody get the minutes? Let me ask that question.
They got the link, they received the minutes.
Oh, okay. So if you got the link, that means you received the minutes. And all I want is for the committee to approve the minutes for October 26th from last month. Anybody has anything that needs to be changed in the minutes? Let's put it that way. If you read the minutes, do you want anything to be changed? Anything that's not written that's not true for last month's minutes? Anyone? Mr. Babbitt, we do have quorum, so can somebody please?
Okie dokie, that's Al Bennett.
Yes, Ms.
We
Bennett.
just accept the minutes of October as
Okay.
stated.
Okay. Anybody doesn't agree?
We need someone to second it.
Anyone second it? Anyone second the minutes, please? I can second it, can't I? Can I second the minutes?
No.
Okay. Can somebody that's present please second the minutes for October 2026? I mean, October 26, 2022.
I second it.
And who you are?
I'm the guest, but there's nobody else to second.
Okay. Can the guest second the minutes?
No.
No. Okay. Mr. Babbitt, Miss Sanderson.
I wasn't at the meeting, so I can't second it.
Well, I need somebody to second the minutes that we got for October 26th. I just need somebody to say, I second it, and then it goes, and then it'll be approved. Okay? Please? Hello, please?
Come on, people, wake up.
Anyone could second it.
Monica
read it.
Kane Brown will second the approval of the minutes.
Oh, thank you, Ms. Brown. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we got a second, and the minutes can be approved now, right? Yes? No?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so the minutes are approved. Thank you very much. And now, it's my report. My report is I heard that in the area we've been having a lot of fires, and a lot of people need to check their smoke detector and carbon monoxide detector because of the holidays coming up. This is just Thanksgiving. The next one will be the Christmas and the New Year's. And we need to make sure that all of our smoke detectors are working. Yes? That's my report. Now we have a guest, Miss Sanchez, that was gung-ho on seconding our minutes. I present the floor to you. Can you please present your FD fire safety information to us? Go ahead, Miss Sanchez. You got the floor.
Yeah, here.
I have to unmute her.
How about this? Good?
Yes, we're hearing you now.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sandra Sanchez from FDNY Community Affairs Unit, and I'm here to share some tips with you tonight. Ms. Welch started right off on my number one topic, which is making sure that you have a working smoke and carbon monoxide alarm. It is, I want to say just about a month ago, we turned back, earlier this month, let me say just about, it feels like a month, but earlier this month, we turned back our clocks, and that's when the FDNY recommends that you are to make sure that your smoke alarm and your carbon monoxide alarm are fully functional. It is your first line of defense. Studies have shown that it reduces your risk of injury and death by 50%. That is no small number. I'm an avid shopper, and if you tell me I'm getting 50% off, I get excited. So 50%, it reduces your chance of death. It reduces your chance of loss of property, of damage, of injury by 50%. That's certainly no small number, and one that we should be very, very mindful of. The truth of the matter is that most fires happen while we are sleeping. So you may not have the ability to see. You may not have the ability necessarily to smell immediately if you live in a multiple story dwelling or home, but that alarm, that smoke alarm, and that carbon monoxide alarm will be your first sign that will indicate that it's time for you to get up and to go. We partner with the Red Cross. I'll share this within the chat if it's available, but we also partner with the Red Cross, the program that we have, Sound the Alarm, Get Alarm. And this is a program where we work that you can call this number I'm about to share with you, and we will provide smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms. A Red Cross volunteer will come into your home, and as many alarms as you need will be installed for you within your home. The only caveat is that we are not able to install in NYCHA because due to the NYCHA mandate, they are required to provide those alarms for their residents. But here is the number, and even if you don't get it, I will put it in the chat and also email this to Ms. Fraser that you can have it. But the number that you can call to schedule your appointment for your free alarm is 1877 Red Cross with one S. And that number translates to 1-877-733-2767. Again, that is 1-877-733-2767 for you to get your own smoke and carbon monoxide detector within your home. And again, this is your first line of defense. We often think that we're going to have daylight on our side, that we're going to be able to move through our homes, which brings me to our next point. Make sure that you plan and practice your escape with your entire family. Include the children, include older adults that may be within the home. Make sure that there is a comprehensive plan that everyone knows where the meeting spot is outside of the home. It's so tragic to know that sometimes because of the great love that we have for our family member, one person will make it out, not see that other family member, and go back and unfortunately succumb to the smoke that is present within the home. Have a meeting space so everyone knows that the meeting space is at the mailbox at the end of the block. Make sure that you choose something that's not gonna get up and, that's not gonna get up and move. If it's a meter, if it's a mailbox, if it's, a corner store, that everyone can know this is the meeting spot that we go to once we make our way. Practice your plan in the daytime and practice your plan in the evening. It's so important that as you plan your escape, you begin to think about all your points of egress. We understand that space within our homes is very limited at times, but we here at the fire department, we really stress how important it is to not block your forms of egress. So it is not wise to have a chest in the middle of your hallway. You may know that your chest is there, but should there be an emergency and a first responder is trying to come to you, they will have no idea that you've placed a chest in your home. And the truth of the matter is that we want to get to you as quickly as possible, and you want us to get to you as quickly as possible. And that chest may indeed hinder that. So make sure that your hallways are clear. If a window is an additional point of egress, make sure that window has no keys or locks that cannot be accessible in a haste. Make sure you don't have a wardrobe, a stand-up closet blocking that point of egress. because we know that when it comes to fires, it's seconds that make the difference. Minutes may even be too much. So we want to make sure that we have a swift exit at all times. And again, include everyone, older adults. If there are older adults and children in the room, make sure that you assign. Everyone has an assignment. One adult can be in charge of making sure that the children are safe, and another adult can make sure that grandma or grandpa or whomever is in the home also, if they need assistance to come out the home, that they know that that is their one role, and that they can jump into action if need be. The next thing I want to talk about, as we are on the eve of Thanksgiving, and sad to say that Thanksgiving, pre-Thanksgiving, so the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, the actual day of Thanksgiving, we tend to see nationally the most amount of fires than any other day in the year. That shouldn't be a judgment of our cooking skills, but there are some tips that we want to keep in the forefront of your minds when it comes to Thanksgiving. The first is that as you may have new persons within your home, that you enforce a kid-free zone, that you make sure that wherever the majority of the cooking is taking place, that this is not a place where the children are able to come and play tag and run around, or even grab onto your leg. You want to be mindful of your surroundings so that they don't experience any burns. Make sure that you do not leave your food unattended. This is a big one. Oftentimes we multitask. We're not making, we're making side A, side B, side C, side D. And at the same time, we may have laundry going. We want to make sure that the table is set. It is very important. It's very easy to get distracted and not have our full focus on what we are making. Do not leave your cooking unattended. It's not the time to go upstairs and to quickly fix the beds. Because simple as that, you hop on a call and you forget that something is taking place. Miss Welch mentioned it in her opening remarks that a neighbor within her complex fell asleep, and this smoke was not only in that person's apartment, but the smoke reached her apartment, which was several floors away. We also advise that you not to wear loose clothing. You want to make sure that your clothing doesn't have the ability to catch on fire without realizing it. This is not loose. This is more of the form fitting. But when we're saying loose, we're thinking about some of the robes that we may wear in the morning, that maybe when not paying attention or quickly grabbing something, the sleeve of the robe may catch on fire. It's also important that you have a functional fire extinguisher within, especially within your kitchen. If you feel that you are able to manage a tiny cooking fire that has occurred, we ask that you aim at the base of the fire and make sure that it's fully extinguished. But if you're not sure, leave it up to us. Leave that apartment, leave that home, and call a 911. For cooking fires, it's always recommended that you have a lid nearby so that in case something may jump, you can quickly take that lid and cover and stifle the flame, and or have baking soda. I was going to say Arm & Hammer. Have some baking soda available and present. We always suggest that whatever lid that you may be using, whatever glove, whatever cooking mittens that you may be using, make sure that they are behind you. It is not wise, or it's not suggested that if you're reaching for, I imagine in my home where we have there are cupboards right above where the stove would be. That's not a good place for me to keep the baking soda, because if a fire was to occur on my stovetop, I would literally have to stretch above the stove in order to gain access to that baking soda. So that is not a good place. Make sure that you store your fire extinguisher. Make sure that that lid of the pot is actually either to the side or in back of where your stove is taking place. I want to move quickly to electrical safety because the reality is that our homes were not created to have the amount of appliances that we have present. Unless your home is newly renovated, our home when our homes were being built, when our apartments were being built, one could not imagine the appliances that we have, our everyday appliances that we have at our fingertips. So the way we compensate for that is using a power strip. That is and we want to be very, very mindful that we recommend that your power strips be UL rated. It is a small UL that is placed on the packaging. It'll also be on the strip itself. That says that it has been laboratory tested for safety that is taking place. It's been tested, but even so, when it comes to using power strips, you want to make sure that you are not using too much power. So for your power strips, they're not meant to facilitate anything that is heating or cooling. So what does that mean? Your space heater should be plugged directly in the wall. Your toaster heating should be plugged directly into the wall. Your air conditioner, even though we don't have to worry about for the next couple of months, also should be plugged directly into it because they draw a large amount of power, and it is important that you are not overwhelming your system. You are not overwhelming your power source. And the truth of the matter is that if you happen to touch the wire, if you keep it running for a long time, it's hot. It is hot to the touch, and it could get even hot enough where you're not even able to hold on to that wire. So you want to be very mindful to make sure that as you are using some of your power strips, that you make sure that it's also not fraying. Sometimes our power strips become family members and they've been with us for years and years, but you want to make sure that occasionally you look over that power strip and make sure that no lines are exposed, that some of the actual outlets have not melted due to overuse. The moment that you see that, time to say goodbye. It's time to let go of that power strip and to get a new UL rated one. It's truly important that you keep all your appliances away from anything that is flammable, and we often forget that includes our curtains, that includes even the tablecloths that are within our homes. And if you have an older home, sometimes our homes can be drafty, so you want to make sure that if you happen to pull the door, whatever appliance, whatever space heater, whatever device may be present in the home, that you make sure that you don't stack it on top of a pile of paper. I think to myself, we're about to reach the 1-year anniversary of the Twin Parks fire that happened in the Bronx. And the cause we know now was due to an overactive space heater. That space heater was left running continuously for 2 days, 48 hours. No matter what, I can empathize because it's cold outside. And we know that due to our environment, it will only get colder. So we want to make sure that we are very mindful that all our appliances need rest. No matter what that manufacturer says, can go all night, last 12 hours. That's not true. Nothing is meant to be running 24/7. If we as humans need rest, so do our appliances as well. Make sure that you look at not only do you look at the wires of your power strip, but also the wires of your appliances as well. Sometimes, again, these appliances have been passed down. They've been part of our family. But the moment they begin to fray, the moment that they've shown an indication that they spark, it's simply time to let it go. The last thing that I want to mention before we part ways and you guys can enjoy your Thanksgiving tomorrow with your family is lithium-ion batteries. Lithium-ion batteries has become a new trend throughout the city. Just 3 weeks ago, lithium-ion battery, there was a lithium-ion battery fire in Midtown, and 43 persons were injured. 43 persons suffered smoke inhalation from one battery. So it's very important that we are mindful. Most of our devices, our phones, our laptops, but in particular the e-bikes, as we are heading into the holiday season where some may choose to get these as gifts for loved ones. You want to be very, very mindful on the charging of how to be smart using any device powered by lithium-ion batteries. So we recommend when purchasing devices, be sure that the equipment, just like your power strip, has the Underwriters Laboratory mark, that UL rating that shows that this product has been safety tested. We understand that it's easier said than done because buying secondhand or second market batteries is cheaper. It's simply cheaper. But at what risk? You are opening yourself for the batteries to not be tested, for them to be refurbished, for it to already be overworked, and the way these batteries are sealed, you would not be able to know until, unfortunately, that it may be too late. We ask that you follow the manufacturer's instructions for charging and storing. So these batteries are not meant to be kept where it's either too hot or too cold. Do not charge a device under your pillow, on your bed, or your couch. I'm going to raise my hand because I know I'm guilty. When I'm thinking of lithium-ion batteries, I pop my phone on my charger and I throw it on my bed. Your bed is flammable. Your sheets are flammable. And the truth of the matter is that it's very close to me. If I'm in bed, if I happen to forget and fall asleep, that will remain on the charger on my bed right next to my foot for the duration, what I hope to be for the duration of the night. So you want to make sure that you keep the charger away from flammable items. Always use the manufacturer's cord and power adapter made specifically for the device. Again, we understand that that's easier said than done. Who hasn't bought a second market charger? You lose the one that was issued with your device. You're like, you know what? Amazon Prime, here I come. Fulton Street, I'm just going to purchase it on my way home. Be very, very mindful again, because these products have not been US tested. Do not place the batteries in direct sunlight. And if the battery overheats or you notice an odor, change in shape, color, leaking, or odd noises from a device, discontinue the use immediately. If you're able to unplug, if you're able to remove it, move the device away from anything that can catch fire, and you call 911. The fires have increased exponentially in these last years that our marshals have now formed a lithium-ion battery task force. We will have a hazmat unit come to pick up that battery to make sure that it is out of the ways of danger for not only you, but also your neighbors as well. I will end right here, and I welcome, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. And before I close, I want to share my email with you, because I know that I said a lot, but if you have some follow-up questions as the season continues and develops, I'm here for you. So my email is my name, so it's Sandra, SANDRA .Sanchez, SANCHEZ @fdny.nyc.gov. I welcome your questions.
Oh, does anyone have any questions for Ms. Sanchez? Thank you very much for that informative presentation, Ms. Sanchez. Thank you. Anyone has any questions? Mr. Tate, do you see any hands up?
No, I don't.
Mm, Come on, people. Not one question for her?
It just means that I was so thorough. Thank you.
Ms. Sanchez, I have a question. I know that, and it may be probably too cold right now, but I do know that there is a van that you have tables out in different parts of the community, and I was wondering when CB17 is slated to have that outreach, the fire prevention outreach.
So okay, so we have it's new. It's our newest member of the team. It is our mobile van where I believe the one that you're describing has the screens on the large screens on both sides and it's sharing fire safety messaging.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing, the reason why you haven't seen your community recently is because you've had no fatal fires. We dispatched that van immediately. If there is a large place function that's taking place, we would be happy to come and be proactive and not reactive
Right.
in that manner. But usually we do have our fire safety education team that is able to come and table at your event. And if because it is one van for one very big city, if that resource is available, we bring it with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good thing to have.
Ms.
Thank you.
Sanchez, in the media, I heard that the fire department in New York City, is looking to make their team a little bit more diverse. What steps are they doing to make that happen, and how can we help to do that?
Thank you so much. I'll touch a little bit upon that because our fire department is vast. When we think of fire department, we often just simply think of firefighters. But when the reality is that the fire department is not only those in operations, our firefighters, but also EMS. And we have our Bureau of Fire Prevention. That is the unit that does more of the commercial inspections throughout the city, in addition to civilian staff. So to just say just shortly, because it's slightly out of my wheelhouse, we do have our diversity and inclusion, our Bureau of Diversity and Inclusion, as well as our Office of Recruitment and Retention. And I know that when we think of opening the exams, we want to make sure that, and we look for Community Board 17 as partners, we want to make sure that everyone knows that there are job opportunities open. The way in which certainly the operations component where you have to take a civil service test and exam. If you don't know the exam is taking place, if you haven't begun to prep for the exam, because there's a physical component to it, whereas you can pass the physical exam. So what we have done as an agency is that we are making sure that we are connecting with the various communities throughout the city to let them know in advance that there's an exam coming. If you are interested, here are the requirements. Here are some mentoring. Here are some mentors. Here are some guides that will teach you and prepare you before that exam comes. I always say that it's very easy to say that I'll use Sesame Street. I always go back to Sesame Street. That we want more Muppets. We want more Muppets on our team, but we want to make sure that when we are doing our outreach, when we are providing our communication, that we are in the areas where Muppets have access, Muppets are prepared in order to be the best candidate and be part of this agency.
So those tests are now available for.
No, so the
Oh,
firefighter exam and the firefighter exam does not come as frequently as EMS. It's an open EMS. I can opens I want to say at minimum once a year, about once a year, and the firefighter exam is closer to approximately every 4 years. And the reason for that is that well, it's twofold. EMS have an opportunity to promote up and join firefighters. So, and they also some people simply move on and say, you know what, I've done EMS and this may not be the lifelong career that I want it to be. Whereas those who join the ranks of firefighters, they tend this becomes their career. You very often find members that have been here longer than I've been alive. They'll say that they'll do 30 years. They've been 30 years, they've been 20 years, 10, 15 years on the job. So sometimes the simple lines are not open as quickly as some of the other positions are.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
thank you. Okay. Any other questions for Ms. Sanchez?
Yeah,
Yes.
Miss
Go ahead.
Lois here. Where is the fire department located in Community Board 17?
We have several. I do not have my book here, but we have several firehouses within Community Board 17. I know we have one immediately next to the 67 precinct. There's one on Snyder Avenue, and there is another. There is another. And I'm just simply going off of memory. But I will. Yes, there's but yes, because Rogers can respond to your community as well. But I will share that with you. I just don't want to hypothetically give you cross streets. I'll share with you the locations of your firehouses.
Thank you. Okay, so we have like 3 of them. 2 of them is on Snyder. One is on Snyder going towards Utica, and the other one is on Snyder over there between Nostrand Avenue and Rogers Avenue. And the third one is
Rogers and Farragut.
Rogers and Farragut,
Rogers,
right there at that.
Rogers.
Yeah, it's right off of Utica, 51st Street, Snyder.
Okay. My team, what can I do without y'all? But we have all of these firehouses, and we can also try to give the information about the fire department's personnel jobs that are open, and you can also go to DCAS, and they are also listed on DCAS for the fire tests, because most of them you have to take a test in order to become an EMS worker, a fire person, even the one that prevents the fires, and the one that the ones that come and see the fire safety.
Yeah, fire prevention.
All of those are jobs that the PNY offers, and it's available for our young people to take the test, because everybody knows that when you take a test might have a time where it will come and be open to you. Not as soon as you take the test you get the job, but sometimes you might be going to college in the meantime, and you finish college after 4 years, and you say, oh, I just remembered I did take that FDNY test, and it's available to you with your degree. So please do not tell them not to take the test, because they're not going to be called right away. But do tell them to take the test, because you don't know what doors will be needed to be open to you in the future. Thank you very much, Ms. Sanchez, for coming. Thank you for giving us all of that information. And Anyone on this committee has any other questions for Ms. Sanchez?
Yes, Ms. Walsh, this is George Tate.
Yes, Mr.
Hello,
Tate.
Ms. Sanchez. How are you?
Hi, George.
All right. Okay. Yes. No, my question is, recently I heard in the news that some of the inspections that are currently being done by the fire department is supposed to be transferred over to the Department of Building. Are you aware of that, or are you free to discuss that?
George, you're asking questions above my pay grade.
Oh, okay. No, because to
No,
me,
I know that and from I'll share with you what I know and what I'm able to share. Many if anyone has ever here has ever owned a business or attempted to start a business here in the wonderful city of New York, there are many between the Department of Buildings, fire, even HPD. There are many certifications, inspections that you need to have within those three agencies. So oftentimes, if you're the business owner, you find yourself ping ponging from DOB. DOB says before you come to me, go to FDNY. Make sure you have numbers 1 to 3. Come back to me for numbers 4 through 5, and then I'll handle 6 through 8. Make sure FDNY agrees. 9, 10. That can be very cumbersome, very tedious, and certainly very timely. So from what I understand, I know that we are working on processes to help streamline that when we're thinking about small businesses, how to make this process, not that we're skipping steps, but we're making it more comprehensive. So I don't know, that hasn't been shared to me what that will look like, but I know that they're in that process.
Because my concern is since FDNY has been doing certain inspection, they are the experts in these things. I was wondering how, about the safety of those future tests can be if the fire department, who are the expert, they're not involved. Okay. Thank you for your answer.
I don't believe that's something that we would be able to even relinquish and say, you know what, take it, own it. This is something that we'd probably collaboratively work with DOB, as you mentioned, if that were the case.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna go on to find out from Ms. Frazier. Did any of the police communities affairs tune in to us?
I am checking. I did not see any online.
No.
No?
No. No one.
Okay. This is our second meeting, and they're not here. And they have 3 of them. Okay. Let's go on to any new business we might have. Anybody? Please. Okay. I just want somebody to please end the meeting, adjournment. Thanks everybody for being
I do have
here.
one.
I beg
Hello,
your pardon?
Jessica?
Yes?
Yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt. No, I said, is there any way in the future that we can plan and schedule PD into our meetings to make sure they do show up?
All I can do is, as usual. Oh, Miss Roddick, you're there? Still? Yes? No? Hello? All I can do is request for them to come, but I can't force anybody to come. Even though publicly at our last general board meeting, where they had to go somewhere, I mentioned it in my report that I would like them to be at our meetings from here on. I don't know how comes now that I am chair, they're not able to come, but
Madam Chair,
hmm.
Madam Chair.
Yes,
Yes,
Are you aware that this is the first time we have had a public safety meeting during the Thanksgiving week? Are you
listen,
aware of that? This is the first time it
I
has
am not
happened.
aware of that, but
Well, I'm just letting you know.
well, I'm just letting you know that the last
In
meeting
the
was not
past, they never showed up.
last meeting was
Right.
not Thanksgiving.
You got it.
Okay. So last meeting they didn't show, this meeting they didn't show, and it's what? It's just a public safety meeting. I don't really run over my time. I try my best to make it in a time frame that's not going over, and it's not an in-person meeting. It's okay.
They
I will have who I
never
have to
show
speak
up.
to. So I'm just saying, Mr. Barrett, I think even if I'm new, I think they're supposed to know they're supposed to come to public safety. For some reason.
They have a past history of no showing.
Okay, so any new business that this committee needs to hold on to or try to investigate for the next meeting? And I just wanted to know, did anybody have an NCO meeting in the last 3 weeks? Because we had found out that the NCO meeting that I needed to go to was on the same night, and it only happens every 4 months, the NCO meeting. Did anyone go to any of them?
I think there's one coming up in December.
Okay, still coming up. No
Well,
problem.
well, this is George Tate. I attended the Sector B. I'm actually in Sector D, but I did attend a B meeting, and quite frankly, it was poorly attended. Really poorly. I was surprised they had about 8 people there, which is, and basically what they discussed. It's not a lot of things were happening in that section, which is it's Albany to Bedford Avenue and Clarendon to Avenue H. That's the section, and basically they discuss the most issues were some noise complaint, and basically around Patagat Park. That sometimes it gets dark, the darkness around Patagat Park, and as usual the illegally parked cars been repaired in the street and left abandoned car that left in the street. But it wasn't not much happening around there.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tate.
You're
That's something
welcome.
that we needed to know. So that was attended by Mr. George Tate, and also I I'm still trying to find out where am I supposed to go about the dark areas in our corridor of Community Board 17, because I see that they have some portable lights up in certain areas. So I see that it also says NYPD on those lights, but I'm not gonna say it came from NYPD. I'll have to say it was asked for by the elected officials. That's what I found out. So I guess we have to get the NYPD there so we could get some lights on certain things because they're portable lights and they say NYPD, even though our elected official requested those lights. I just have a feeling NYPD gonna hear a lot more from me.
Miss Welch,
Yes.
can you get a listing of the locations that are poorly lit and submit it to me, please? And
Okay.
if it's poorly lit, I need to know if it's the lights that are dim or whether or not there are no lights at all. You have to be very specific so that when I'm submitting the request, I
Uh-huh.
could, let the DOT know whether they need to install a light or whether they need to, whether or not the lights are there, but the bulbs are dim. You have
Oh,
to be very specific.
okay. Well, even like that by Kings Highway.
No, Miss Welch, if you could put a list together,
Okay.
or
Okay,
if the
because at our
members would like
last.
to email it, or if the members would like to email locations to me, that's fine also.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna have to go back and rewind this whole meeting to get the information. So it's best to either email it to me or one person, put the locations together and compile the locations and email it to me.
Okay, I'm gonna see what I can do because I have it written down from the last meeting.
Okay.
Um,
I got one, I think, location from the last meeting, but if I get all the locations, I'll make one submission. And the email address is bk17@cb.nyc.gov.
okay,
Okay?
okay. Thank you, Miss Frazier.
You're welcome.
I'll get the list. Anything else, people? For our new businesses, and whoop, it's time to end our meeting. Can somebody please close the meeting with a? I can I close the meeting? Will somebody please
I, George State, make a motion that we adjourn the meeting at 8:39 p.m.
Carol Bennett seconded.
Okay, that was quick, fast. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending our public safety meeting. And I'm going to tell you, next month is going to be December. It's going to be after Christmas, our next meeting. Please be there. And I don't know how I'm going to get the community affairs officer there, but I think I'm going to have to just padlock him onto me. 'Cause somebody, because we have 3 of them and none of them showed up again. So
Cats, they have a history. They never show up.
well, they're gonna show up because I told you I'm gonna padlock them onto me.
Either that or maybe we can invite some public officials. Maybe then if they hear that, they might show up. They don't
No,
want
they
to
have to show up. I'm gonna try not to be a poison letter, but I'm gonna try to write them a little poison note. Not a poison letter, poison note about them not showing up. Okay.
Poison.
Get rid of the poison. Okay,
No,
I
you
might.
gotta use a book. The whole
I'll
book.
use I'll use strawberry jam. Okay, or even a raspberry tea. Okay.
Okay, put
But
some more.
they have to try to come. Thank you very much for attending, and I made it as short as I can. Go back to enjoy your turkey for you and your family. Thank you for coming to my meeting. Tuning in.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.